Nice check. One, my mic sounds nice, and I'm live. Yeah, where you at? 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 What's happening, people? Your man is in the house, without a doubt. And let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Where we at? Give me some thumbs up. Let me know you hear me. You know, we've been away from the mic for a minute, so we got to make sure that everything's everything. Well, yeah, YouTube. Where you at, YouTube? Where you at, YouTube? Pretty soon I'm gonna have to get off of Facebook. So I'm letting you know now, all you folks that are out there. I know you've been with me. I know you've been rocking with me. I'm gonna ask you to step it up one more again, and let's take it all the way to YouTube. Um, Facebook. What's happening, people? How y'all doing? What's happening now? I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Okay. Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Yeah, that should be it right there. So talk to me, people. How y'all doing? Is everybody good? YouTube, what's happening? Facebook, where you be at? Better? Better make, but they said Betty made the biscuits, but the butter made the batter bitter. I can't remember. But I know a big black bug bit a big black bear and a big black bear bled blood. Was that it? I think that's how that went. Something like that. What's happening, people? How y'all doing? I'm over here tripping out this evening. Mic sounds nice. Check one. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So happening in the house tonight. How's everybody doing? Um, some of y'all news. I told some people I didn't tell everybody, so I'm gonna just go ahead and tell everybody. Um, Before this is all said and done, I guess we'll all be touched by this bug. But last week I got hit by that Omicron, Omarion, that COVID bug or something, and it even broke your boy out. And I had me taking his medication and what have you. So it's just like that, folks. I'm good now. You know, nothing can hold me down. Nothing can stop me from doing what I'm supposed to be doing. There's so much going on, man. It's just so much craziness going on. I don't even want to get into it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just go ahead and do what we came here to do. So what you come out here for? Do you wanna party? Do you wanna dance? Come on and get down, down. I have to see if I still had the voice. Come on, get up, get down, get funky, get loose. That's the old Teddy. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. What time be it? It's straight up 7:30. Yeah, I am feeling better. I am feeling better. I still got a little bit of a persistent cough from time to time. You know, I did what I do to make it happen. People are so cavalier, and I've not been talking about this on purpose because if I do, I run the risk of having myself censored. Because anything you say could be false information, and I don't even want to deal with that. So let me just say, I'm here. I'm good. I'm feeling good. what really made me feel great was how my children stepped up. You know, I'm gonna say this, and being a dad is probably the hardest job in the world. I know you mamas don't agree, but if you got more than one baby mama trying to be the daddy of a household or remote control dad in a place where you paying bills, but you don't have a say so is not easy. And I saw something not too long ago that says, maybe half of the deadbeat dads were not necessarily deadbeat. It's just that there was some what they call them? Bitter women. Yeah, so I think that's the deal. So with that being said, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Say good evening, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming here. Thank you guys for your wishes, your well wishes last week. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I'm truly humbled. All the things that you could be doing on this Thursday night, you choose to be here with your man, getting the words straight from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? Did I just call myself a horse? Well, I'm hoarse or whatever. Anyway, I truly am humbled. I'm truly humbled because God blessed me to be here. Um, a lot of people weren't as lucky as I was and lived to talk about it. So for that, I'm truly blessed. I'm honored. I'm humbled, and all of these other adjectives that escape me right now. Um, my name is Hank Batiste. My show is called OMITdaLOGIC. This shit makes no sense. I'm your host tonight, and the voices in my head are screaming, all right, Mr. Biden, enough already. Let's just govern. This past year, I have to admit, I've gotten tired of hearing Biden speak tough only to capitulate in the name of trying to reach some type of bipartisan agreement or camaraderie. When will Biden realize that if he forecasts things, all it does is stacks the opposition against him? He has to learn not to forecast his hand before he acts. More importantly, when will Biden stop trying to make friends with former so called colleagues, Republican and Democratic colleagues, who have willingly drank either the Trump Kool-Aid or the Kool-Aid of personal ambitions and hate? See, folks, it's not just the Trumpsters. It's a lot of people that are wearing congressional lapel pins by the names of people like Pelosi and Schumer and Sinema and Clyburn. Yeah, John Clyburn in South Carolina, and all of these people who could keep talking about they've got Biden ear, but they're not doing anything to get Biden's agenda passed. So I don't want to hear all the name dropping and I talk to the president and all of that nonsense. I'd rather not hear that. Right now, I just want you to show me something. So Biden showed his hand again. He said he's going to keep a campaign promise to put a black woman on the Supreme Court of the United States. In classic Biden form, this person will have to be chosen by a bipartisan committee. Okay. Um, the thing about hate, people, when you speak up and you talk about something, those people that are sitting in the wings looking for a reason to dislike you, now they start to mount up because you give them energy, you give them oxygen, you give them marching orders, you give them a purpose. So let's just talk about this a little bit. Let's stop trying to satisfy people who could care less. And this is not just our president, mind you. All of us can be guilty of trying to impress people who care less about our success. If it's your mission, go ahead and see it through. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the Dems, the Arizona Dems. We're going to talk about the national Dems and why they're not taking a page from the Arizona Dems. My name is Hank Batiste. This is Omit the Logic. This shit makes no sense, but we're going to try to make some sense of it. Let's do this, folks. Huh. Right off. Right off. Um, when we talk about what Biden did, um, I keep talking about we need that hatchet man. We need that man who stood up and got things done for Obama. We need that Biden to show up. It seems like Biden has stopped with his executive orders. He's stopped following his own mind and his own counsel, and he's stuck on this bipartisan thing. You're not going to get reelected. Let's just get that out of our head. And if we get that out of our head, we are swinging for the fences and trying to knock things out the park. If you stop listening to these so-called polls that tells you who likes you and who dislikes you, and you listen to that populist vote that put you in the White House, if you listen to that more than 300 delegates and follow that what's inside of you, then we can make something out of this. Build back better. Because right now it's baby, 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 please. And I'm tired of seeing the man capitulating. I'm tired of seeing him begging, and I'm tired of him looking weak. I'm just being honest. Yes, I was one of the first to say in 2016 or in 2017, as soon as the knucklehead took office, I said, run, Joe, run. Because I said he had what it took to appeal to the masses. I didn't say that he had what it took to make those that are jealous of him like him. The thing is, you don't have to like me, but you will respect me. You will respect the job that I have. You will respect the position that I have. You will respect that I am the face of the Democratic Party. And then still, instead of acting like that, you are constantly trying to make people, and you wind up going along with them instead of the other way around. Instead of having a lazy Uncle Joe sleeping in the porch on the of the shady rest, we need the crazy Uncle Joe with the baseball bat. We need that wild card. That's what we need. We need that Joe Biden that hit the ground running the first 100 days. And if it meant that you had to do an executive order, then so be it. You got things done. That's how you got over 2 million people vaccinated. And then you start listening. You start listening to your own press and you start listening to the wrong people instead of following all of those things that you said that you were going to do, all of those campaign promises. So let's get back. Um, we're stuck here. We're stuck here in this place called um, we're stuck here in this place called the same old, same old. And as a result, we're not getting anything done, folks. We're really not getting anything done. What appeal, what seems to have happened, um, was, and this is what's crazy. Biden is doing the same thing that Pelosi is doing. And I promised myself I wasn't going to go off on this tangent, but I'm tired of seeing what has happened. I'm tired of seeing this same old thing, um, and we can't do anything about it. So here's what we need to have done, folks. We've got to have the National Democratic Party do what the Arizona Democratic Party did. The Arizona Democratic Party decided to censor Christian cinema. And I keep asking myself, why doesn't the National Democratic Party do the same thing? And there's no reason other than they're buying into that same little Kool-Aid. So we've got to make sure that we hold these folks accountable. What's happening now is Pelosi, Biden, Schumer, and too many of the dems seem to be accepting of giving up the House. They seem to be accepting of giving up the majority in the Senate instead of trying to increase the lead and doing things for the American public. It seems like we've got too many, every man for him or herself. It seems very, very sad that this is Black History Month. And the most significant thing that has happened this month, early in this month, has been Whoopi has been suspended for something that she said. So I'm going to say this again. And I promised myself I wouldn't go off on this tangent. Why can't we as a people, and I'm not just talking about Black people, I'm talking about people of color, but I'm talking specifically to Black people. Why can't we as a people, as a community, come together to do like the Jewish Defamation League and make sure that when it comes to police reform, when it comes to the George Floyd bill, when it comes to the John Lewis and voting redistricting and voting rights, why can't we make sure that we come to arm? Why can't we unite to make sure that we hold these people accountable? Why can't we start to censor some of these people and start to suspend their privileges the same way that, and I don't want to say I don't want to say, you know, the name of the show, but how many times can someone say they are sorry and continue to be punished? By the same token, how many times can somebody not do what we elected them to do or we hired them to do and there be no consequence? So I'm trying to draw a parallel between what happened with Whoopi, what the Arizona Dems did, and what the National Democratic Party needs to do. Why can't we take a page from the Republicans who says, if you do not follow our game plan, if you do not follow the national vision for this party, then there are consequences. And part of those consequences is simply this: you will have no money, you will be ostracized. We need to hold these people accountable. And I don't care who they are. The thing about this, is I've been fussing, and I've been promising that I would not go down this rabbit hole. But folks, I am really sick of it. I'm really, really sick of it. When we start to talk about whether it's Nancy Pelosi, whether it's some of the Jim Clibans, whether it's a Andrew Cuomo or a Donald Trump, if you are not doing what we want you to do, if you're not making sure that the poor is taken care of, because meanwhile, what's happening, Medicare Part B has gone up for the elderly. Meanwhile, what's happening, redistricting is happening. So voting is getting harder and harder and harder, and there are no consequences. Meanwhile, the George Floyd bill was renamed to police reform, and it died in the congressional waters. Meanwhile, the John Lewis bill, the Build Back Better, and so on and so on and so on, nothing is getting done. So we know what's going to happen in November. We know what's going to happen in November, and there are no consequences. So it's up to you and I, people, as we the people, as of the people, as by the people. It's us to start calling. It's up to us to start writing letters. It's up to more people to start raising their voices. It's up to us to start acting like the Jewish Defamation League and say, we have been defamed. We have been let down. The campaign promises that you made was not just that of Joe Biden, because he was not the only one that was elected. It's that other majority in the House of Representatives. It's that other majority in the Senate. And it's everybody in these state houses, in these local elections. It's time to start holding people accountable and says either you do what we want you to do, and these state legislatures that just take it upon themselves to start redistricting. We need to start having some ground rules within the community. You call it these little community action leagues. We need to come together and make sure that we get some of these things. Those are the petitions that we need signed to counteract some of this. Because out of 50 states, there are about 43 to 47 states that has some type of redistricting laws that are being put on the books to make it harder for you and me. And that's whether you're black, you're white, you're Puerto Rican, you're Haitian, you're Jewish, you're whatever. It's making it hard for all of us. So it's time that we all come together. This was not what I planned on saying, I promise you. But I'm just angry, folks. I'm truly angry because for 2 weeks now, I've been watching this, and it's like it's the same suit over and over. It's like we're stuck in this Groundhog Day where every day we wake up. I'm tired of hearing about Christian cinema. I'm tired of hearing about Nancy Pelosi not getting things done. I'm tired of hearing about Joe Manchin. I'm tired of seeing Joe Biden grab a mic and talk about what he's going to do, only to not be able to do it. It's time that if you are an elected official, I need you to be more like Nike and just do it. Get it done. Folks, I've talked about Congress for failing. I've talked about all of these people. I've talked about trying to get us together to do it, but I can't really be in everybody's community. This is why it's up to some of us. if you hear the sound of my voice and you agree with some of the things that I say, then it's necessary to start pulling some people together, some like-minded people, and say, how do we effect change within our own communities first? And then we, as a people, can come together. But it starts with getting so outraged that we're not going to take it anymore. It starts with being just as angry as the gay community was when Dave Chappelle made a joke. And I have to agree. He said what he said and what he meant. And if I misspeak, I'm apologizing in ahead in advance. But what he said and what he meant was he is jealous of the gay community because it's in a very short period of time, they have had tremendous gains. Whereas people of color and Black people specifically have been fighting this fight since we landed on these shores, and we're still so far behind. So until we all get just that angry, that we take it upon ourselves to start holding some of these people accountable, until we, within the communities, and if you want to know how, shoot me a DM. And that's what we're going to start talking about. So we're going to start talking about how do we get people grassroots, groundbreaking. Let's break some ground in these communities, these local communities. And I know, and the reason, let me just do this. I had this dead space in my head. I had this dead space in my show just now. And I'm going to tell you why. Because before I went off on this tangent, I kept hearing some of my Facebook friends who says, I need to put my money where my mouth is. I need to start looking at local offices and see how I can make a difference within the community instead of just sitting behind these mics every Thursday night. So that was the reason for the dead space. That was the reason that I got angry with myself, because I really do not want to run for office. I want to be the one to be a thorn in the elected official's side to get things done. I want to be the catalyst to hold their feet to the fire to say, you said you were going to do this. I need you to keep some campaign promises, but maybe I need to start leading by example. Maybe I need to start getting involved in this local community to bring about some change before I holler and scream at you about what you need to do. So, yeah, folks, that was the reason for the dead space. That was the reason that I went down this rabbit hole. That was the reason that I went off on this tangent, because something inside of me said that the only way that we're going to be able to keep a majority in the House and a majority and increase a majority in the Senate is to start holding people accountable. Mr. Biden, I need you to remember who put you there. I need you to remember that it was not your Republican colleagues. It was not Manchin or Sinema. It was not Pelosi or Schumer. It was the American people. And we are behind you. Well, we need you to start working for us and stop working with them, because that go along to get along is not the Joe Biden that America needs right now. The only way you'll build back better is not going to be a bus. It's for you to become more of that hatchet man who served with President Barack Obama for 8 years and stop trying to be this colleague, this friend, and stop calling people your friends who could give a flying shit about your success. Folks, I said I was feeling better, huh? I don't know. Maybe there's some things still going on that I know nothing about. But with that being said, I'm gonna cut this short because I'm tired of hollering and screaming at you when I need to be hollering and screaming at myself. The voices in my head are telling me that I need to do something. The voices in my head that says that if I'm gonna fuss at President Biden about leading, then I need to lead. The voices in my head are saying if I'm going to be holding Nancy Pelosi accountable, then I have to start with the man in the mirror. It doesn't mean that I'm going to run for some office because that's not where my heart is. But I am very serious about making a difference. And I know you are too, because you don't just tune in every week to see me go off and see how far down this rabbit hole he's going to go before he reels himself back in. Folks, as always, as always, as always, as always, I say this and I mean it because there's been a couple deaths in my children's family. And it reminded me of what I always say. Don't be so afraid to die that you forget to live for a purpose. This is our purpose, folks. It's not just about me. It's about what we're going to leave, the legacy for our children and our children's children. That's all I got for you tonight. As always, as always, as always, do me a favor. Go, go, go to my YouTube. Sign up, sign up, sign up, subscribe. I can't say this enough, folks. Share this. As convoluted as this message was, I apologize on one hand, but on the other hand, something just got inside of me and I couldn't even read the talking points that I had for you tonight. Go to my YouTube, subscribe, share this with other folks, get them to subscribe. Let's start building in our communities a defamation league that deals with things that are important to us. Because meanwhile, what has happened, it's a shame. Biden is talking about putting a black woman on the Supreme Court, but half of the black women out there can't even buy chicken wings for their families. Damn, chicken wings is $5 a pound. Are you kidding me? I talked about this last year. I said that the only problem with raising minimum wage when everybody knows that you have at least $15 in your pocket, then gas was going to go up, then rents were going to go up, then insurance going to go up. And it's not that it was prophetic, it's how they played the game. If we just move silently and get things done instead of programming and broadcasting, we can hold some people accountable. So let's get this done, folks, please. That's all I got for you tonight. As always, I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. I'll see you next week, right here. And I promise, I'm going to try to keep the promise to not go off. I was off the rails tonight, and I apologize, but it is what it is. I'll see you next week. Same Baptiste time, same Baptiste place. As always, imparting, I wish you love, I wish you peace. Thank you for your well wishes. I am feeling better, but I don't know. As always, love, peace. Like your man. I agree. I'm out of here. I gotta go. I love you. Ain't a damn thing you could do about it. Good night, folks. Much love.